transition? What type? It's amazing to me how often people ask me that question. Recently, I was at an event in New York City. It was an innovation summit for female entrepreneurs. Sitting next to me was a journalist from Forbes. After I explained what I did, which had a lot to do with women's development and transitions, she said, "Oh, transitions, how interesting. What type?" I've come to find out that when people ask me that question, what they're really asking me is, what were the things that initiated the transition, right? Be it a host of topics that occur over a woman's adult life. It could be childbirth or marriage or job loss or a career change. It could be, menopause or retirement or remarriage. But what I've come to understand from my research is that, in fact, transitions all share common elements, and I've developed a model to help people understand transition. It has 3 parts. The first is a trigger, that which initiates transition, right? The second phase is a decision, because once we experience a trigger, we have to decide what we're going to do with that, right? Are we going to act on that trigger? We have the opportunity not to, by the way, but there is a choice when it involves transition. Will we act on what that trigger is asking us to do? And the final phase is an action phase, the act of transitioning. So what I've learned as people ask me this terrific question, transition, what type? It really has an awful lot to do with how we process the things that can initiate a transition in our lives. The reality is there are many. It's a big bucket. All sorts of things can initiate a transition. But the great news is there is a model that can help us understand those early activities, particularly the triggers, and give us a very clear set of options on how we might want to proceed.